hot issue all around the world at the moment. Last month, Argentina legalised same-sex marriage, and I'm sure many of you saw the celebratory videos on YouTube. Unfortunately, close to home, things haven't been so peachy. This week there's been some shit going down. We've had Wendy Francis from Family First saying that legalising gay marriage is like legalising child abuse. Fortunately, in this country, we have people like Michael Kirby actually speaking up for us and being to borrow something that Michael Kirby said in Sydney the other month at the TED conference. The same-sex marriage debate is as much about fighting for laws to be changed as it is about fighting for dignity. That's what we're fighting for today, dignity.
6 years ago when we first marched here, the most important thing happened to me in my whole life. My partner asked me to marry her. But the best thing about that marriage was we were married on the banks of the Yarra, and that's where my grandmother was tribally married as well. So the first marriage we had here on land was on traditional Wurundjeri marriage land. And I don't think people are aware of that or not. On the 29th of March this year, she passed away. And that's one thing we don't look at, and it's one thing as gay people we're not making provision for. She passed away, and making the arrangements for the funeral and stuff like that was really difficult. Even though she had quite liberal parents, when it comes to the crunch, my rights as her partner, my rights for my best friend was taken away from me by her family. I paid for the funeral and I did everything right. But at the time, I didn't realise that, because I was in shock. And we're talking about gay marriages, we're talking about all that sort of stuff, but we don't seem to have any support there for anybody when everything falls down. Or when that person leaves with the 2 kids and you don't know how you're going to make your next payment. We've got to start looking at the real issues if we want to be like this. And we've got to look at the consequences and make sure that we look after each and every one of us. Back then I should have stood up for my partner's rights. We are talking about the elections, you know. We've got to look at Labor. We know they support it, but yet will they get up there and say they'll support same-sex marriages? No. It's time to make a change. We here can do that at this elections. The Greens, Bob Brown, say no more. But like I said, we've got to go that one step further and make provision for everybody so we're safe. But in the beginning, we all believe in a creator. Some people call him God, some people call him Allah. We call him Bunch or an eagle. And he flew over a vast plain of nothing and created the world. And from that world, he created nations, and from those nations, he created people. That's why Aboriginal people say, my land, my country, my mother, and that's something we can't take away. And we also believe in Australian law, L-O-R-E, not English law, which is here today. And under Aboriginal law, my people, the Wurundjeri people of this country, recognise same-sex marriages and don't recognise the government not recognise them. We believe across the Victorian border, there's not one black crew out there who doesn't support us and think that it's such a shame that they want to give a man a medal for going to war and killing a man. If he wants to love him, he wants to lock him up. We can't see the sense in that. But if you call yourselves Australian, then you too are part of the Wurundjeri family. If you live on my country, you're born in my country, you take food in my country, you're my extended family, you're my cousins, you're my brothers and sisters. We're here today to make a noise and to be heard. And Wurundjeri people will still fight for our rights as well. Gay people and blackfellas, geez, if anybody gets it, it's tough, it's us. So let's stick together and move forward as a group. Welcome to Wurundjeri country. Thank you.
Research from the University of Queensland shows that 3/4 of queer parents want to be married. Some of us already are married, we've been overseas to get married, and it says the Australian government still won't recognise those marriages here. And some of us don't even want to get married, but we all want our kids to grow up in Australia where our families have the same status as our friends' families, our cousins' families, everyone else's family.
I'd also like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and pay my respects to their elders past and present. I also acknowledge all those who gathered here in the past and who have made this site so significant to Melbourne, not just as a place of reflection, literature and learning, but of protest, struggle and dissent. The Victorian Gay and Lesbian Rights Lobby is honoured to join them and all of you. Tradition alone cannot form the rational basis for a law. This statement is taken from the decision of Justice Vaughan R. Walker, Chief Judge of the United States Federal District Court in San Francisco, California on the 4th of this month. The 2004 amendments also explicitly exclude gay men, lesbians, and many bisexuals, transsexuals, and intersex people from marrying under Australian law. This is a national disgrace.
It is.
In its current form, the Marriage Act legalises and entrenches unacceptable discrimination against all queer people in Australia. Our exclusion from the Marriage Act denies us a right that is afforded to all other Australians. The Marriage Act is underpinned by the view that our relationships and commitments are inferior and that we can never be full and equal members of Australian society. That is why it must be changed.
I want everyone to do me a favour if they can, because I'm looking out here and there are so many beautiful, wonderful, amazing souls that are here. I think everyone should turn to someone next to them and give them a hug. It's 2010, guys. When is the government going to start listening and realise that we should be able to get married just like anybody else? And it's not just for the people that are planning to get married or want to get married, you know, it's just the option to have that choice there. It's really not a big deal. It's about human rights. It's about getting rid of discrimination and treating everyone equally. It's not just about the law, it's about letting people love.
Yeah.